I'm not supposed to do that, but I don't know. My car phone thing is jammed. So anyway, this is going to be quick to any case. So I just got done listening to the press conference up in Kenosha, Wisconsin, about the shooting that happened where officers shot Jacob Blake. It's the shooting that led to all the riots in Kenosha, Wisconsin. And my personal opinion is that it was justified anyway. That the shooting of Jacob Blake was justified. So, you know me, I'm very hard on cops. But I will say this, it was not cut and dry. The fact that the officer shot Jacob Blake was not as cut and dry as other shootings that I've seen in Kenosha, like, I don't know, Kyle Rittenhouse. And the district attorney had a press conference today to let us know that no officers are going to be charged in the shooting of Jacob Blake. And again, I'm okay with that. But the district attorney went through all of this mind-numbingly detailed explanation of why the officers are not going to be charged in the shooting of Jacob Blake. Now, if y'all recall, Jacob Blake was in a van, or was driving a van. There was a call about he was where he wasn't supposed to be. Apparently, there was an order against him, whatever. The police tried to detain him. He was able to break free from them. He started walking around his van, reached into the van despite officers telling him to stop. And allegedly they said, that he was going to get a gun or whatever. And so they shot him. I guess they hit him 7 times. And Jacob Blake is paralyzed, right? Now, based on all of the circumstances about what the nature of the call was, and based on all the facts on the ground, again, I think the shooting was justified. They had already had a violent altercation with Jacob Blake. He had somehow escaped control by these 2 officers, and he was reaching into the floorboard where a weapon was located. It doesn't matter whether he was shot 1 time or 7 times. A lot of people are upset about the fact, oh, but he didn't have to be shot 7 times. Look, here's the deal. Either a shooting is justified or it's not. The number of shots fired, who cares? Because if 1 shot is unjustified, or if 7 shots are unjustified, then 1 shot's unjustified. But if 1 shot is justified, then 7 shots are justified, okay? The idea is to stop the attacker or to stop the threat. That's the whole point. However, what drives me nuts is we have 2 different justice systems in this country. Here you have a case where, and again, I agree with what the prosecutors did here, but it's not a cut and dry case. It's because as far as I know, there's not a lot of body cam footage other than what we've already seen. And that stuff might come out and maybe it is more clear cut. But what is clear cut is that Kyle Rittenhouse in that same city during those same riots is clear cut based on what the DA just said today. Because one of the things they said today was not only did we look into the charges, but we looked into self-defense laws in the state of Wisconsin. And in looking into those self-defense laws, they determined that they were justified in that shooting. You look at, there are video after video after video out there of Kyle Rittenhouse not shooting until his life was in danger in self-defense, right? But yet they're charging Kyle Rittenhouse with murders. They're not charging those cops who I would argue were it was less obvious that it was self-defense in the officer's point of view, because they didn't give Jacob Blake an opportunity to attack them. Okay, he was just reaching into a van. Now, there was a weapon in there. There was a likelihood there was a weapon in there. Apparently, he had said something about grabbing a weapon. And all this information will likely come out. But yet, they decided not to charge the cops. Whereas in Kyle Rittenhouse, in his situation, Every person that he shot was physically attacking him. Physically attacking him. And 2 of them were felons. But yet Kyle Rittenhouse is being drugged through the ringers. He's being drugged through the court system. He's having to defend himself. And in case you don't know, today, Kyle did plead not guilty, which is good. He's going to end up getting off on those charges. All right, because the self-defense is pretty obvious. But what I don't understand is, why is it that those officers are not being charged in what is, I would say, is somewhat questionable, although it may even be obvious if you have all the videos and stuff. They're not being charged, but Kyle Rittenhouse, where there's plenty of videos proving self-defense, is still being charged. I think what I just heard today during the Kenosha press conference about why they're not going to charge those officers in Jacob Blake's death, and they go through tediously the laws of Wisconsin about self-defense and use of force and all that kind of stuff. And you sit here and listen to that and you're thinking, that's exactly what Kyle Rittenhouse did. That is exactly what this kid did. He defended his life and he's alive today because of it. And thankfully 2 thugs are not alive today, and 1 thug is unable to masturbate with the hand he normally uses, I'm sure. It's just sickening. It's just sickening that we have 2 justice systems, that the police get special treatment. They automatically get the benefit of the doubt because they're cops. But someone like Kyle Rittenhouse, well, he's got to go through the system. He's got to spend, and others have to spend on his behalf, tens of thousands of dollars for him to get let free. This has ruined his life. He's going to remember this for the rest of his life. Even if he's acquitted, this is going to define the rest of his life. And it pisses me off to no end that we have to go through all of that. We have to be proven innocent. Let's face it. Even though it's a system in which we're innocent until proven guilty, no. We have to go and prove ourselves innocent, but the cops are just automatically assumed innocent, and they have to actually find circumstances in order to actually charge them with a crime. They actually look into everything. Before they charge a police officer with a crime, they look through everything before they do that. They look at all the evidence. But when it's you and me, or Kyle Rittenhouse, they just charge you, and then they'll let the jury figure it out. We'll let the court system figure it out. That's what they're there for, unless you're a cop.